Welcome to RomWills Money Matters. Make good spending choices. Now, this is common, and you know what? I've talked about this 1,000 times. You know I'm gonna talk about 1,000 times more, because one of the main things with Money Matters is money management, and especially with everything going on, people have to manage their money better than ever. But you still need things. One of the things that you really have to do is make good spending choices no matter what's happening. Make good spending choices. Don't spend your money willy-nilly. Yeah, when you're going into maybe, especially a grocery store or something, they got all those candies. They got those gossip magazines right up front. And you don't really need them. Or when you're talking about clothes, Now, I had mentioned on a car video about my son getting some new shoes because there was a little rip in one of his shoes, but he had to pay for it. I was like, I ain't paying for it. You got enough money. So he paid for it. But I'm going to tell you what, something like that though, if you got some shoes or something, it's still good. The heels are still good. You're still good. That's not always a good spending choice. And I told him, he didn't care. He didn't care. Yeah, I was like, you can still wear those shoes. He was like, nah, there's a rip in them. You know how young people are. But in general, you have to really think about what you're spending your money on. You have to think about it. Like when you're thinking about your clothes, are you getting your clothes because you actually need that particular shirt or you need those pants? Is there a hole or something in them where you have to get it? Or do you need to just go on with what you had? Now, back when I had my last full-time job, it was a retail job. And I had so many, I had to think about it for a second. But it was a retail job. I'm going to tell you what, that's the job I started off working minimum wage. But then I was able to build from there. I was able to get a raise within 2 weeks of working there. And I was able to get a raise. I was able to get more money. And one of the things I did on it still was I was very careful about how I spent my money. Very careful. Like I didn't get clothes until I absolutely needed them. I usually didn't get a new pair of pants until like some holes showed up or something. Because I was just like, oh, I can still wear these. I didn't get shoes until they really started running over. And even then, some of the shoes, there was a couple pair of shoes, I just took it to a shoesmith and let them put new heels on it. I didn't when I had it was an older car. I changed the oil and the wheels myself. I rotated the tires myself because I was saving money. I was only spending money when I absolutely had to. And you might have to do that now, especially nowadays. A lot of people getting laid off. If you're getting laid off, you may have to think about it. But even if you making, like, say you're making six figures, that don't mean you spend money like crazy. I remember when I was on one of my jobs working at this gym, and there was a young lady in there. She was making more money than I was, but she was still living at home. But her problem was she wasn't saving money. Her problem was she just spent it like crazy. She just spent it even though she was making more money. And this was when I was working at the gym and the government. And she was still working, making more money, but she was spending it like crazy. You don't want to do that. You want to be very careful how you spend money. Even now, as I said, when I buy clothes now, I look at them as investments. Like most of the clothes, I got plenty of shirts upstairs. I got plenty of shirts, but most of them I wear here. It's very rare I wear one of the shirts out in public. Very rare. So and I look at that as an investment. When I look at anything, I look at it as an investment. It's like, do I really need this? In fact, I really haven't bought any shirts in a while. I got so many. I have so many. I have so many pairs of shoes, which when I bought them, they were investments. They were usually shoes that I wore when I was doing maybe a live presentation. Investment. But other than that, man, I don't really wear them. I don't really wear them. See, think about it. Whenever you buying something, I don't care what it is, whether it's food, like ask yourself, do you really need that food? Like when I was out yesterday, I was thinking about getting maybe some crab cakes. You know, we love crab cakes in Maryland. But I was thinking about it. It's like, do I want to spend that much money or do I want to spend a little bit less money, get something else? Do I really need it? Like every single thing that you get, ask yourself one question. Do I really need this? Do I really need this? Even with food, do you really need that food? Do you really need to get this drink? Whatever. And this ain't to say you can't spoil yourself sometime, but you need to be very careful. You need to really, with savings, always have some savings somewhere. Always have extra. Like if there's a $400 emergency, which I keep reading and hearing that many Americans can't pay for a $400 emergency. I'm not concerned about that. I can pay that several times over. But that's because I'm thinking about I'm not just buying stuff. I'm not just buying stuff. Like my car, I'll probably, until it just can't run, I'll probably keep that. Because I don't need the money like that. I don't need to spend the money on it like that. And you have to think about that. You have to think about that, even going to certain restaurants now. In fact, there was a habit I had a few years ago. Me and my sons, we would go to two different restaurants on the weekend together. Yeah, I cut that out. I cut that out because I was just like, we can just go to one. We cook one day, go out to restaurants the other day. And even then, we think about the restaurants that we're going to. So, I mean, every choice, because remember, your money is a tool. You got to think about how you're using it. Where you going with it? How much money you going to spend? You got to think about it. Like even for business, you have to think about how you're going to spend that money. Where are you going to go with it? You have to think about it. Don't just spend money willy-nilly. I'm going to be real. A lot of people get in trouble because they spend their money willy-nilly. I know people like that. It's like as soon as they get that money goes. It's like their pockets are burning a hole in it. And it's like, no. Think about it. And I'm going to tell you what. If you make good spending choices, you'll find that the money that you're able to save builds up quickly. And of course, whatever I always said about savings, you can use that to maybe invest in an income producing asset. You could start a business with it, or you can have it for emergency, whatever. Even a lot of these people getting laid off, if they have big savings, they ain't worried as much. In fact, maybe you could work on creating your own job. I want y'all to think about that, all right? But make good spending choices. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.